Canaries chasing yellow and green through every ground in the championship scene. Bags packed, scarves high, stories to share. Wherever the Canaries play, we'll be there. On the road, city, we're singing loud and proud. From the river to the terraces, we'll follow through the crowd. On the road, city, from Dublin to the Shire, we'll find the pubs, the songs, the hearts, and light the Canary fire. Fans in the stands tell us where to go, for a pint, for a bite, for the best pre-match glow. What's the town like? Where should we stay? What's the roar of your home crowd like?
Hello Canaries, and welcome to another episode of On the Road City. This time we'll be reviewing what happened in January at our away games and looking forward to some exciting matches in March. We are recording this exclusively for Beyond the Barclay, part of the TalkSport Fan Network, where you can watch all the games on Now TV. I'm Cillian, the Flying Canary, and I'm joined by my co-host.
Yeah, so as most people know, I'm Nick, the driving canary, although I'm actually in passenger now. I'm delighted to say Olivia passed her driving test at the first attempt last week. So having been chauffeured by her to home and away games for weeks, I'm now not even allowed to tell her where she needs to go and how to do it, because clearly she's passed her test now and knows better than I do. So yeah, delighted for her. The long trips to Wrexham and Middlesbrough obviously paid off, and that all that practice for her paid dividends. So yeah, delighted. But delighted to be sat in the passenger seat as well, and at least I can have a little tipple now before the Ipswich game. So yeah,
well, congratulations, Olivia. Great achievement to pass your test. So, Nick, relatively quiet away month in February, but it was two exciting games, starting with Oxford, which I didn't make myself. I was busy working elsewhere, but how was Oxford?
Yeah, it was a fantastic night. It's a bit of a strange ground, isn't it? Three sides, very similar to Wrexham in that respect. Well, clearly Wrexham are trying to build their full stand, and Oxford never will. But yeah, great night, great start. Grimshaw assist, ole after 1 minute, and Mo Toure getting on the end of it. I think we dominated from start to finish. I don't think Oxford really laid a glove on us, which seems to be the fairly consistent story on the road at the moment. But yeah, convincing win. Really good atmosphere in the away end. I know I criticised the Middlesbrough away end in terms of the atmosphere, which is pretty flat for 90 minutes. But yeah, fantastic atmosphere at Oxford and fantastic 3 points. Clement's getting a tune out of the team despite the injuries, which obviously have grown since then. But yeah, it's a fantastic night. And, it was always super easy to park there if you get there early enough in the the bowling alley car park right outside the ground. Can be a bit of a mess getting out afterwards, but you don't really mind after 3-0 win, do you? No, it's a great night, great atmosphere, great team performance, an all-round team performance. I thought, I think Grimmy, he had a really good game. I think he's strong with his feet. I think he gets us moving forward quickly. I was a little bit disappointed to see him dropped, if I'm honest. I think he had a really good game. I think a number of people had a really good game that night. I think Liam Gibbs had another strong performance. But yeah, great night on the road. Great to see some familiar faces there as well. Fantastic performance.
And then we moved on to Leicester, which is one I was a bit nervous about, thinking, they're bound to come at us, new manager bounce and all that good stuff. And they put out, on paper at least, a strong starting lineup, but didn't go their way yesterday.
No, I'm still waiting for them to have their attacking bit now, to be honest. 2 days on, it's only a day after, isn't it? So yeah, still waiting for them now to have their first attack of the match, if I'm honest. That was almost guaranteed, wasn't it, that even if they didn't come at us in the first half, that Rowlett would change something at half time. Clearly, didn't. They didn't really lay a glove on us, did they, for 90 minutes?
Seems to be like a team collapsing. I mean, mind you, that could be said for all of Leicester, given that all the away pubs we used to go to are all closed.
Yeah, definitely. The pubs are shut. The team were awful. The hot dog van on the corner is still there. There's still a good cheese dog on the corner, which was great. Yeah, but another fantastic away day. Probably the best away end I can remember for some considerable time, if I'm honest. Shout out to Alex Bailey, to Matty Sokol, and to Tom Chambers for some new chants.
Yeah.
I think I've still got the Paris Magoma one rattling around in my head now, to be fair. So, rhythm is a dancer. Paris is the answer. So can't wait to get that going again on Sunday as we venture up to Leeds. But yeah, what did you think of your day out in Leicester? I think you flew into Birmingham, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I was at a handy flight into Birmingham, easy enough train up. We had a ball. It was a great atmosphere, as you said. Only thing that worried me slightly, I don't know if you noticed this, like the crowd was bouncing, and so was the stadium. Really thought the whole thing could collapse.
Yes, it's done that though. I remember when we won there 4-0 away. Like I say, it was a 4-0 win. I seem to remember it being under the floodlights. It might have been the last time we beat them in 2011. I think kind of from the pink, and we're talking about the fact we'd not won there since 2011. It might have been that game where we beat them 4-0. But yeah, once you get the atmosphere going in that corner, you can certainly feel the stand vibrating under your feet. So it's been doing it for at least 13 years. So I don't think, 15 years now. Where's the time gone? I don't think it's going to collapse anytime soon. But yeah, you can certainly feel it like you can't in a number of other stadiums and grounds that we go to, but you can certainly feel it in the Leicester away end for sure.
But you're right, it was a great atmosphere, and it was interesting. I hung around after the game, and there was quite a few fans hanging around the team bus, and the big applause for Philippe Clement. I've never seen that for a coach. I'm talking about the person, not the bus.
Yeah.
At the end of the game like that, it was amazing to see. And even Ben Napper came over and spoke to some fans. So how times have changed there.
Yeah, definitely. And to be fair, look, the way things are going at the moment, I wouldn't have been surprised if the fans were applauding the bus. We seem to be getting behind everything at the moment. So why not the bus as well? So yeah, it was.
We've obviously a couple of matches coming up. I believe there's been some hassle with tickets though. You come across that, mate?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, so obviously, as you well know, I always get your ticket as well to save it getting lost in the post on its way to Dublin. But because we've had bigger allocations, they've been releasing Group 1, 2, and 3 all at the same time. And I'm not elitist by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think I'm a better fan than anybody that does or doesn't go to any game. But I think when you're a Group 1 away member, because of the continued high number of away games you go to, I think by default you should get a good choice of seats. And I saw a lot of call outs after the Leeds tickets went on sale, that they went on sale at the same time to everybody. I know a number of Group 1 members that logged on immediately, and the only seats that were left were like restricted view seats at the back of the top tier. I understand the club's perspective that they want to group people together, but even if you do that and put Group 1 members on sale for the first 3 or 4 hours of the day, so that you at least get a choice of seats, and actually those that make the noise can congregate together. Clearly we're doing well. There's more people going now. There's more desire for tickets, but the groups are there for a reason, right? And it was the same again today. I logged on at 9:35, having finished another commitment. The only seats that were available were in A block in the corner. The rest of the lower tier had sold out, so bought those because the upper tier was showing as not on sale. And within 10 minutes of a refresh, the upper tier had become available. I had to ring the club, wait in the queue for 20 minutes and move my tickets to ones that are a better view in the middle, where we can try and make a little bit of atmosphere. But you're never going to get it right. You're never going to please everybody. Match pick for me is a mess. We shouldn't have the Derby game on match pick. We had the same issues there with Group 1 members having only the last 2 rows of restricted view seats available. For me, if you're doing 10, 15, 20 games a season, you should be able to pick a seat that means you can see the game and create a bit of atmosphere. We're the ones that are there week in, week out when the team are doing well or not doing well. And, we should be able to have a decent seat in my view and actually try and congregate together to create the atmosphere that, the team and the club say is the 12th man that pushes the team on, especially when they're carrying a lot of injuries. Like I say, there's no perfect solution, but we continue, in my view, to get it wrong time and time again.
Funny that it is frustrating to have loyalty rewarded that way, and I just don't get it. It can't be that difficult to get right, that they keep shooting themselves in the foot when it comes to tickets.
I don't think so. I know the club continue to talk about the fact that they engage with supporters. I know they have the supporters panel, but let's be entirely honest, the representation on the supporters panel doesn't represent the vast majority of fans that go to 10, 15, 20 plus away games doesn't represent the views of the 150, 200 of us that go to every game, week in, week out, whatever the team are doing on or off the pitch, whatever mess is going on behind the scenes, we're there and we're creating the atmosphere. We're not represented, we've never been welcomed onto that panel, and in my view our voice isn't heard. I will write to the club and express that view and offer my support to try and influence that and influence some of the decisions. I know you did it for nearly 2 years, and I know you had similar frustrations that sometimes you felt listened to, but it wasn't necessarily always acted upon. So let's see what we can do to try and continue to get behind the boys and create an atmosphere. And I say that because if next season continues the way this season looks like it's going to close out, I anticipate there'll be a clamber for tickets for pretty much every game, because all of the signals point towards next season could be a really good one for Norwich, and with that comes a sold out away end every week, and the opportunity for the club to get it wrong. So we all want to do the best for the club and best for the lads on the pitch. So we'll see what we can do.
Absolutely, makes a lot of sense. So anyway, you managed to secure tickets for these 3 March away games. The first one I'm very excited about, going back to, even though it's not my favourite place to go out on the road. There is always a great atmosphere there, and it's a free hit, really, isn't it, Nick, going in there for a cup match?
Yeah, definitely. It's a super free hit. Farker looks like he's going to have a touchline ban, because I think he's not taking it tomorrow while it's appealed. He may well win the appeal, but again, Leeds have got a game this week. They're not far above the relegation zone. I would suggest their priority has to be staying in, the biggest, richest league in the world and not risking relegation. So therefore, there's potential that they rest a few players. It's a free hit. I'd love to see us in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. I'd love a quarterfinal at Carrow Road and a buzzing atmosphere there as well. Yeah, really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to a trip back to Ellen Road. It's always a complete disaster trying to get away from the game afterwards. The city seems to gridlock itself, and it can take hours to get out. But if we win and win the quarterfinals, it doesn't really matter if you don't get home till Monday morning, does it? And for you're not going to get home till Monday morning anyway, so it matters not. So yeah, can't wait. Real opportunity, really opportunity for us to benchmark ourselves against a club in all fairness that we should be. That we should be able to perform well against, even with our injury hit squad at the moment.
Yeah, well, Clement seems to be getting the best out of the team, no matter who's injured or who's in or out, so which is great to see. And I'm sure the team will be up for it, but it is a big challenge, obviously, going there. I remember the playoff second leg there. It just was like going into a cauldron.
Yeah.
And we were shell-shocked, I think, at the end of it.
Yeah, definitely. We've got a packed out away end. I think we've taken 3,000 tickets. Again, I think there were some concerns I've seen on socials around, about the capacity, whether we could have taken more. But, with 3,000 Norwich fans will be there, and, let's push the lads on to success and hopefully a home quarter-final.
Yeah.
One day away from Wembley then.
And then our next away match back in the league is probably one of our toughest matches left, against Southampton away, I would think. Midweek game. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, can't wait. Can't wait to get down to St Mary's. Always enjoy going there. It's it's a fairly easy drive. Good parking in and around the ground. I'm sure we'll find somewhere to have a bite to eat in the city centre as well before the game. No, Southampton have got they've got 5 or 6 fixtures in the next 14 or 20 days. I was reading earlier today, as I travelled out to Prague for a couple of days with work. They've got a busy fixture list ahead of them as well, carrying some injuries, but they've definitely got a new manager bounce like us, and they're performing really well and scoring goals quite freely. And we've got a really solid defence. They're scoring quite freely, and I guess something's got to change as we go into that game. What about you? I think you're flying into London, aren't you, for work?
I'll be working in London, so I'll hopefully catch the train down late that afternoon. I'm looking forward to the trip. I always enjoy St Mary's, I think. Even though it's one of the newer stadiums, I do think there's a good atmosphere there, especially at night. And night kick-off, I think there's something special about it. Maybe it's that CR. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, we still owe them one, right, for the 4-4 the 4-4 draw down there as well. That should never have been a 4-4 draw, and we still owe them one for that. I know we beat them earlier this season, but yeah, we definitely need a
Yeah. And then shortly followed, a couple of days later, by a new ground for me, certainly the Valley. I've never been there. Charlton away.
Yeah, I can't wait. I was there a couple of seasons ago. We had them in, think, in the third round of the FA Cup.
Yeah.
I remember some clown came on the pitch with a brightly coloured hat with a little helicopter propeller blade on it. I'll have to try and find that picture and send it to you. He came on a little pitch invasion at half time.
Is he a Norwich fan or a Charlton fan?
No, Charlton fan. Yeah, I remember him coming on the pitch. So yeah, it's a traditional old school ground. High-rise block of flats. Reminds me of like the flats in Only Fools and Horses on the old Peckham estate. Right behind the ground. Nathan Jones, I really can't stand the bloke, so I'm sure he'll be up to his song and dance and antics on the touchline. As a Charlton manager.
Yeah, last game.
You what? Sorry.
Missing for the last game against us. He was suspended, I think.
Yeah, he was for the last one, wasn't he? Yeah, and I know O'Neill's not there anymore either, so there won't be a reunion with O'Neill. But yeah, looking forward to getting back down there again. Like I say, it's a traditional old school, League One, League Two ground. In fairness, isn't it? So yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to a good day out in London. Or Olivia will drag me around some makeup shops or something in the city beforehand. I'm sure we'll find somewhere to get a bite to eat, and then make our way across to Charlton for the game. 3 o'clock kick-off in London on a Saturday. Doesn't happen very often, does it? So, and it looks like from what I can see, about 50 or 60 tickets left for 3,500 sell out again. So, a lot of people on the road, and we always sell well in London, don't we?
And that's our pre-international break match, so it'll be nice to try and finish on 3 points there, I'd imagine. Yeah,
is that the last one, is it, before the break? Yeah, and which, to be fair, can't come soon enough, can it, to give a little bit of respite to the players. And
it's a fair run of games. Obviously, we've just covered the away games here, but with home games in between as well. So I think there's 2 back-to-back. I mean, it's just one game after another. Do you think there's going to be any players coming back, or any before the international break?
I genuinely don't know how Cernak and Topic are getting on. I know they were deemed potentially season-ending injuries when they occur, but I don't know if there's any. I've not heard or seen any noise about whether they're likely to be back in some sort of light training before the end of the season or not. Other than that, I don't think there is anybody, is there, that's likely to be back before the international break. Hopefully, there's some positive news about Toure, before the Ipswich game, maybe. Is
there a chance that Maatsen might be back, do you think?
Yeah, he was on the grass, wasn't he? They like the phrase "on the grass," don't they? But yeah, he was on the grass. So again, I think with Sam Field and Kenny doing so well at the moment, I don't think there's a need to necessarily rush him back.
Yeah.
But we might need him for the FA Cup final, so let's not rush him back too quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was chatting to one of the players, who remain nameless, who is very keen to play on a Bundesliga pitch. So I told him the only way to do that is to win the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Or next season.
I've got a fairly good idea who that'll be, but I won't blow your sources.
Anyway, looking forward to another 3 exciting games away from home in March, and away on the road, as well as obviously the home games.
And then there's just two or three away games left after that. Millwall, Bristol City and Hull, is it, to close out the season? That'll be our final pod of the season, won't it, to close out?
It's not many.
Close out those 3 in one hit, I should think, because one of them just creeps into May, doesn't it? So unless we've obviously got the FA Cup quarterfinals, and then perhaps a special away day Wembley for the semi-final to talk about as well.
Our 3 trips to Wembley, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, fans, Nick, appreciate you coming on from Prague. I know it's getting late there. We're going to close out with another one of our great songs, and this one called March On. Thanks for tuning in, and look out for all the great content on the Beyond the Barkley channels. Thanks, everyone.
Rain or snow, where city go we go. Leeds us roar. March on, green and yellow army. March on, Norwich City. Who are we? Norwich. Where are we? Are we on tour? Green and yellow everywhere. We don't care. We don't care. We don't wait. March on. Clap, clap, clap. March on. City on tour. Then full